Really stood out to me about this is the fact that as we're walking through and we're seeing all of the dungeons that African people were enslaved in, learning about the conditions that they had to survive in, that people would go blind because it was so dark in these dungeons and they were not exposed to sunlight throughout this time. So that way, when they went out into the sunlight, they could not see. Or the fact that food would be thrown from windows at the top and land in the bodily excrements of all the people forced to stay together. Or the fact that people would not always realize that the person in front of them had died until they touched them and felt the coldness of their bodies. And then, of course, the decomposing smell. It is brutal and it is gruesome, and it was such an emotional experience for me. But what really tripped me out is the fact that on top of these dungeons was a Christian church. Yes, there was a church on top of the dungeons where enslaved Africans were held before being forced across the Atlantic. And the man who was conducting the tour was explaining how sometimes the pastor, even thinking about it and re-listening is just making me, that same religion has been used to cause so much trauma. And I am saying this as the daughter of a preacher. When you learn this, and then I had the privilege of being able to see this firsthand, going to this place where people who look like me were enslaved, it really makes you wonder about Christianity and what it is that we are holding on so tightly to. And so if I choose to acknowledge the spiritualness of our experience and our existence, if that makes me a witch, then I guess I'm a witch.